think my journey has been easy, let me tell you, the devil completely tried it.
Yeah, no, I hear that.
Definitely tried it a few times, and I've been knocked down more times than I can count. So some of you may know me as a recording artist.
Mhm.
I released my first EP, Fall and Rise, in 2010, and my single Done It that came out in
That's my favorite.
2022. Everyone loves that. It's such an R&B flex, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I was touring, but back then I was touring, I was performing and living the dream. But what people didn't see behind the scenes was
Mm.
that I was battling from depression. So,
Mm.
and performing made me feel alive.
Yeah.
It made me feel on top of the world. But as soon as the lights went out and I got back to my apartment, the darkness creeped in. And that's the
Yeah.
thing. Busyness can distract you, but it can't heal you. And that's one thing I've learned. I didn't know that at the time though, but
Yeah.
it's something that I've definitely learned. And I really thought that money could fix it. So I just went out and I splurged, I shopped, I traveled. But
Who hasn't
after
done that?
after every high, there's always a crash, and I always crashed harder. Depression
Mm.
became a cycle, insomnia became my best friend, and I was stuck. It took me years of
Mm.
therapy, prayer, and getting real with God to even begin my journey to healing. And part of that healing meant stepping away from music to
Mm.
figure out who I was because
Mm.
I was losing myself. I was severely depressed, and I was pretty much on that journey to like finding my purpose.
Yeah.
But then March 2020 came, lockdown, the world stopped. So did I. My father ended up getting really, really sick. And
Okay.
suddenly, like all the distractions that I had, all that was running, literally it was non-existent,
Mm.
and I used all the excuses like, oh God, I'll come back to you in a second, like I'll get back to you. But I was desperate. I hit the floor in prayer, ugly cry, snot everywhere.
I know
Like
them ones.
I said, Lord, if you save my father, I will surrender my life
Mm.
fully to you. And let me just say, when you say things like that to God, you
Listen.
are verbally making a contract with him. Trust me when I say, ladies, be careful, men too, what you promise God, because he takes
Mm.
contracts very seriously, and it's
100%.
it's like a marriage. When you get married, there's a covenant. So be careful what you say. But let me tell you, God heard me though. Not because I made a contract, but because I finally got honest, raw and real.
From the heart.
I wasn't giving him my church girl mask. I was basically giving him my whole heart.
Mm.
And I surrendered everything. And it wasn't an instant fix either, because it still had battles. Like one of the
Mm.
hardest was smoking for me, because I was such a social smoker,
Yeah.
and then it became a disgusting habit. And then I used it for depression. But that was like in my 20s. And before I knew it, that's it. It was my comfort. It helped me with stress. It helped me with sadness. It helped me through
Everything.
anxiety. But I loved God, though. That was just the
Mm.
weirdest thing, how addictions can get you there. And I was growing in faith, but that was just the one thing I couldn't shake.
Yeah.
But I thank God for his grace and his mercy, and the fact that he is so patient and he is a deliverer.
Amen.
So I'm,
100%.
fast forward, I am free from cigarettes. So I am happy about this. It's been a struggle, but I haven't had a depressive episode in years. And I'm still on the journey
Good.
towards righteousness because of
Mm.
God's grace. And that
Yeah.
I know that he's carried me every step of the way. So, but maybe for you, maybe you feel lost. Like
Mm.
you've been wandering without a map. Maybe you're tired of trying to figure things out on your own. I know I did.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just
Can be like
so
that sometimes.
yeah, maybe you're just so over life that you can't see a way forward. Let me tell you something, that there is hope, and that hope is Jesus. He
Always
already
is.
he already defeated sin. He snatched the keys from hell and broke every chain that tries to keep us bound. But here's the thing, you have to walk in freedom. He's already given it to you. So it's
Mm.
that time to take it back, because he's already given it to you.
So since I was a little girl,
Mhm.
I always felt the tug. You hear people say that all the time, and I totally get that. It was like God was gently whispering in my ears, like "You're mine." But life gets loud, right?
It does.
And for years, I was talking like I'm talking like 14 years.
Mm,
I wrestled with what really meant to be a surrender to a call.
mm,
I dipped in and out, and finally on the 14th of March, 2020.
mm.
15, I finally got baptized.
Wonderful.
I know. So excited. I can't even believe it's 10 years.
That's good.
Yeah, it's 10
that's
years.
an era.
Yeah. But let me be honest,
Mhm.
the glow up in faith has not happened overnight. Literally, after being baptized, weeks
Mm,
later, I was heartbroken by my daughter's dad.
mm,
Um, and literally, we separated, we parted ways, and that was the season that literally broke me.
mm.
Um, that
Oof.
was a lot. Yeah,
Oof, yeah. So that part, that we've all been there, and it's
yeah.
interesting how the enemy, as soon as you get baptized, you feel renewed, you
I heard
feel
people say
energized,
that.
and then that's when the enemy basically comes in, and he's like, "Really? Okay." Boop. And
Yep,
it's like,
did that.
so yeah.
My daughter was 5. No, 4.5. She was
Mm,
4.5 at the time.
mm,
Depression came in quietly, but hit hard. I was in the thick of it, locked in my room, in my own mind, curtains closed, energy gone,
mm,
identity slipping. But obviously, come Monday,
mm,
getting baby ready for school,
mm.
doing what mums do best, and push
Absolutely.
through on autopilot, smiling on the outside, dying
Mm.
on the inside. I had that on repeat
Mm.
for months. And then one day, literally, I was up in the room because it was just like a little hostel. It was quite a cute hostel.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it was just like a one room situation. I couldn't get out of bed. I was just like,
Mm,
I literally told my baby, Mummy's sick. And I was like, hold on a minute. I am sick, but I'm not flu sick.
mm,
I'm soul sick.
mm. That's
And
deep.
I was like, I've got to do something about this because I've got to be responsible. And I went to my doctor, and of course, they gave me
As
antidepressants.
they always do. That's the first thing they want to go to.
Yeah. And like for me, it was just like I can't numb myself
No.
with those
And
things.
that is like, that's so real, because so many of us have been there holding it together for everyone else, and
Yep.
like pretty much barely hanging on ourselves, and we just put on that smile all the time.
All
Like
the
nothing,
time.
like nothing is wrong. Like
Yeah.
nothing's going on.
Yeah. And for me, it was more about trying to do something about it. Um, I'm not knocking meds. That's
Mm,
definitely not what I'm doing. But I looked at the box, I turned to my faith, and I said, God, I need you, not these pills. It's just you and me. And the battle began. I was just like, this is what we're doing. And I literally fought for my life
mm,
between fitness and faith.
mm. F and
I was
F.
so, yeah, literally, I was just so determined. I went on walks with my baby girl. Literally, I put her in a baby carrier at the age of 5, and it
Love that.
really worked. Anyone want that tool? It worked. I used her as a body weight.
I love that.
I cried, I prayed, I pushed, and I would say I eventually won.
Amen.
I didn't take any of those tablets.
Amen.
Took me 5 years. It was 5 years.
Mm,
And then through that journey, it took me to stage,
mm.
and I went to bodybuilding.
If you see these pictures, oh my gosh.
And like that was the first time I did that. And
Mm,
I thought I'm going like my coach advised that I go into the wellness category, and I was a wellness athlete. I got 3rd place.
hey.
And during the journey, women contacted me on socials, and that was literally the beginnings of me coaching women. So I've been doing that
Mm,
since then, and it's
mm,
been amazing because what I'm able to give back to women
mm.
is for me really, really good.
Yeah,
It's a
absolutely.
give back to myself as well.
Always.
So yeah,
That's amazing.
um, during that journey, God literally stripped me back of everything, rebuilt me from the inside out,
Mm,
which I am now so grateful for. He taught me to walk by faith, not by feelings. And now I'm standing stronger than ever because I know where my strength lies, and it lies in those two things:
mm,
God first,
mm-hmm,
fitness after.
mm-hmm.
And that literally just gets me pumped up for
Oh,
my day.
absolutely love that. Friendship is a gift, but it's also a responsibility. Just like we seek God for a
Mm.
helpmate in marriage,
Yep.
which I am, but we should be seeking Him when it comes to who we allow into our inner circle.
Yep.
Now, think about it. Your friends influence your thoughts, right? So your decisions, even your spiritual temperature, that's
Mm.
not small stuff. And here's the truth. Are you ready for it? Not
Mm.
everyone who's fun to be around is safe for
To
your
be around,
spirit
yeah.
and safe to be around. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's real deep. For sure.
Yeah,
It's even
100%.
giving me something to think about right now. Okay, so let's talk about our friendship journey.
Oh yeah, we should. I feel like we should. It's deep. It is like
It is. I
it's
know. I
what
mean,
they
from when
call
we
it.
had to ask, like, my mum, what
Mm,
age was it that we literally knew each other from?
yeah, because we gymnasts, by the way.
Yeah,
So that's how we met. We met at
yes.
gymnastics.
Was it at gymnastics or was it at school? Do you not think it was at school?
What did we go to the same nursery?
No, we went.
But we met when we
Well,
was like 5, 4, 5.
oh, then it would have been gymnastics.
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
absolutely. She forgot. It's all right. It's all good.
Okay, so yeah, we met at gymnastics. My mum was a coach,
Hmm.
and literally we were just paired up from the get-go, weren't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, pretty much. We
yeah,
gravitated, I think, to each other
to
because
each
there was
other.
loads of kids there, but I don't know.
And also our skill set and our temperament just worked well. Like, when you do gymnastics, you then partner to do pair work and things like that. And we were really good, so we were always also leaders as
Hmm.
well.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, and I just what the reason why we're mentioning this, yes, we met this way, but I actually feel like the way that we crafted our uh friendship
yeah,
around gymnastics is
hmm,
the way that we are natured now.
yeah,
We don't stand for each other not rising to the occasion.
yeah,
We don't. And that's how we were in gymnastics. Like we encourage each other.
yeah, yeah.
We're each other's cheerleaders as
Hmm.
well,
Yeah,
literally. And we support each
literally.
other. I think with our children, we support
Yeah,
each other,
absolutely.
our journeys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally perfect synchronicity, as they
I
would
call it
say.
divine alignment.
That
Divine
that
alignment.
that
That's
right
that's
there.
that's just what it is,
Yeah.
and we took a huge gap.
Mm. Even before that, we went to
We went
the
to
same school.
yeah, we did. We
Yeah,
went to the same school.
primary school, secondary school.
Yeah,
Yeah, and we did gymnastics throughout the week, so we literally lived in each
yeah,
other's pocket throughout the
pretty
week,
much.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was right through our teens, yes, until we finished school.
Hmm.
Then I think we separated in terms of what we were doing a little bit more because you were more heavy in the more street dance. I was more heavy in the
Yeah.
contemporary stuff.
Do you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I really thought you was gonna say you're just more heavy, so you didn't do gymnastics.
No.
No, I'm only saying that because some of the thoughts that come into my head was
Mm,
why I left gymnastics in the
mm,
first place is
yeah.
because I actually didn't feel comfortable anymore because
I didn't even see that.
as I was growing, I was getting on the heavier side. As it looks in the gym in that kind of sport,
Mm,
you're normally quite slim
definitely.
and I was getting
Even for my
teased.
figure, but
I was getting
yes, yeah.
teased more by the boys in the gymnastics. I'm not going to expose the ringleader, but
Yeah.
yeah, and I felt really, really uncomfortable to the point where
Yeah.
I would go home and cry. So that's why I was like,
Oh
as I went to
no.
15, I realized that dance was my passion. So I thought, oh, do you know
Yeah.
what? This is more me now anyway. So yeah, that was my focus. So yeah, that's why.
But can I just say, even though like Cokes was, you were a bit
Chubba Baba.
heavier, yeah, you still could do all the
Of
skills. You
course.
could still execute,
Yeah.
and that's why I didn't see that. I didn't see that
Yeah.
struggle in you really.
Yeah.
And that's
Mm.
obviously something that you kept more to yourself, and you was a bit conscious, but because you were so good, I was just like, yeah, that's my partner. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So we pretty much took a huge gap after we left
School.
school,
Yeah.
and it was been some years and years. Obviously, we lost touch. It's not like we had each other's numbers. 'Cause I don't think I even had a phone at the age of 15,
No.
16. I don't
Well,
even.
well, I did, but it was more Facebook, so I kind of kept appraised to like what you was doing
Yeah.
a little bit, and
Yeah.
I'd
I mean,
see glimpses of you on
you didn't
Facebook a bit.
really post that much, so
No.
I didn't really see. And I think I did see that you had a child, but
Mm.
it wasn't. It's not like she was. I don't even know.
I
So
did. I don't post too
yeah,
much.
yeah. So I barely saw anything on there. But I was pretty much from there. I went into a dance career
Yeah, I
and
knew that.
focused on that. And I was doing a lot of touring and stuff like that. And then music came in, and then obviously I had lived in the US, so and basically traveling the world because I also lived in like Brazil and China and quite a few places. So So yeah, we lost touch. But then I
Mhm.
think it was only the beginning of last year. What's that? 24.
Yeah.
2024, the beginning of last year, we kind of reconnected after all those years.
Yep.
And I remember, but we did see each other every now and then at like small events.
Yes.
Maybe once or twice. I can't remember. And it was like, oh my
Beforehand,
gosh,
yeah. And then I
like
saw you with Baba out.
yeah,
And then
because
I was like, no, 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 no. I think that could have been actually the third time that I'd seen you
was
after
that
seeing you out a couple of
yeah,
times.
but wasn't that
Mm.
where we reconnected properly?
Yeah,
Wasn't
because
that in
I
the
insisted
thing
on
in
that.
Campbell Green?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I insisted on like taking your details, and I was like, no.
Yes, because
I just decided, I was like, no, I need you to come and support me with
yeah,
the
because she's like,
club.
oh my gosh, that you. I was like, yeah, and not
Yeah,
just that. It's because I started talking about gymnastics because I wanted
yeah,
to get her into
yeah,
gymnastics. And he's like, you know, we still do, and I was like, what? You guys
yeah,
still do?
yeah,
No way.
yeah,
And then he's like, yeah, you should come down to that. And then he said, we need to talk actually. And you
yeah,
still interested in gymnastics? I was like, I am. I don't do it, but yeah, sure. And
yeah.
he's like, oh my gosh, we need to talk. And then from there, it just
Just went off.
took
Yeah.
off, and
Yeah.
it's been climbing
Because
ever
it seems longer
since.
than we've actually known each other. And then we went from gymnastics to cheerleading,
Now we're
and
running a
then,
chair.
yeah. And okay, so this is what we need to actually share with you about this podcast,
Okay.
okay? Which is, what did you call friendship? Spiritual or divine spiritual intervention?
Divine alignment.
Divine alignment. Why am I creating my own words? So when you say divine alignment, in actually this reflects on
Mhm.
what I'm about to highlight with regard
Okay,
to the podcast, right?
go ahead.
So I was just chilling at Coates's, and I was just like, I was telling you, did I tell you at that point that like God wants me to
No,
do
it
something?
was
I didn't tell
I
you that.
started talking about
You
we started
started
talking about
talking.
something, and I said, "Oh yeah, I've been," because we're talking about stuff that we're doing. I'm like, "Yeah, I need to focus. Like, I'm
That's
been
right.
writing this podcast," and then he's like, "Wait, did you?"
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
and that's when you jumped in,
Yes. So what's going on for you?
man. I mean, I'd say, to be fair, I wasn't always a girly's girl.
I
So
hear
I
that.
haven't really had that many issues when it comes to women,
Yeah.
to be
Okay.
honest
Fair.
with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can understand, but
Yeah.
I can't relate.
I hear you.
Um,
It is much better over with the boys sometimes because they're just direct. They just cut it straight, direct. They will
yeah,
argue and then they're friends the next day.
yeah.
You're not really, you're not
I
really
don't
on the
know because I'm
vibe.
saying I'm like twisting everything because I'm like in my situation, I've had a lot
Mm,
of male friends.
mm,
Now, there's a downside to having male friends
mm,
because a lot of these male friends ended up liking me,
mm,
whether I knew it or not. And I've had a really close friend. I've had a few close friends where I'm gonna say that again. I've had a few close friends where not a few. I shouldn't even say a few. I've had maybe
mm,
one or two that has liked me for a long time,
mm,
and one of them specifically, we do anything for each other. Like we've
mm,
always had each other's back, and it's been absolutely amazing.
mm,
But I've got a question.
mm.
What happens when you cross the line with that friend? Yeah, so what happens when you cross the line with a friend? Sorry.
I mean, what happened?
Oh my gosh.
What's
So
the
obviously
gist?
I've known this friend for a very long time. I'm not
Mm,
going to do too much ins and outs because
mm,
yeah. We ended up crossing the line, number
mm,
one. And do you know what? So it's such a weird situation because things weren't even awkward after. Nothing, it
mm,
was just like everything was just normal.
mm,
Everything was just fine. There was never any issues. But you just know that when you cross boundaries
mm.
with a male friend, you have to understand that emotions and all things start creeping in.
Yeah.
So what didn't affect you before will now start affecting you,
Mm,
regardless of what it is. And I
true.
think that's what it was for me. So even to the point of jealousy, like when
Mm,
we would go certain places and I see females talking to him, I'm
mm.
sitting and I'm like, what does she want from him? I'll start doing all of these things. I'm like,
Yeah.
Cox, what are you doing? Like, you're not even with this person. You just crossed the line.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's what happens. And that's why I always, for myself, not for nobody else, but that's why I say, like, don't open your legs to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Just
Mm,
don't do it
yeah.
because soul ties will attach onto you. Now, yours, whatever you've got on you, will go onto him,
Yeah.
and whatever's on him will go onto you.
Yeah.
And what started to happen was I started to walk around with this feeling of that's my territory,
Yeah.
but actually it's not.
No.
I ain't seen a ring on his fingers.
Yeah.
He doesn't
Facts.
belong to you.
Yeah.
You know, and so all these things over the years just started attaching to me, and I just consistently felt so emotionally tied to him. But that's what happened, because if we go back into the Bible, they didn't do marriage like how we do marriage
No,
in this
you
day
lay
and
with them.
age.
That's your husband and
They
wife.
laid in the bed together, and that was them being married. So I still think of on that it still applies today, regardless. Even though, yes, for the earth, for the kingdom of earth, you have to have that legalized in terms of the marriage, the ring, the paperwork.
Yeah.
But they didn't have that. So that
was the covenant. That was it.
So I'm very weary about that. Only like obviously in the last few years where I'm really taking my walk really, really seriously. But I'm just like, man, and I've had to really think about it, that it's affected me to the point where I'm like, I thought this person would end up being the one, because you know when people talk about, oh, you never know, because your best friend might turn,
to start a relationship from a
and
friendship.
so I thought that to myself, thinking, well, this person is like my best friend. So it's like, who knows? And I'm thinking, maybe I'll wait for that person. And we've both had that conversation before, like in terms of waiting, you know. But after a while, when you think, girl, this person is not ready and will never be ready, you're going to be waiting until you're nothing but skin and bone.
Yeah.
Who are you waiting on? So that's where I had to tell myself, all right, you need to now break all these soul ties off of not just this person, but anyone you've ever slept with, anyone you've ever, you've considered a friend.
Yeah.
That, you know, actually they had a little something. There was always going to be an emotional attachment.
Yeah.
So I had to break that. And I felt free. And the only way I'm going to feel free is when I'm around that person. How am I going to feel when is my heart still going to, because then you haven't broken it.
No.
So I know that when I'm around that person, I'm like, man, it's a shame, but I don't feel anything.
Then it's.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, that's a common conversation actually. Can men and women be friends?
Oh my gosh.
And the thing is, I do think that they can, but
then
it really depends. Exactly. It depends on the respect level of each person. Because I think sometimes men and women make really good friendships because of the opposites, in terms of having a male friend that you can go to almost like a brother to say, I've met someone, like, what do you think? Or when you meet him, what do you think? And they can actually give you some good, genuine counsel on that man's character, because they know men's nature. You can't get the same counsel from a female on a man, you know.
No.
So for that reason, I think it is good. It is a vibe. And I don't, like, there are a lot of women that are married and they wouldn't have their husbands have female friends.
Yes.
And I have a principle that if this isn't a female that you would bring to our wedding, then she's not your friend.
1000.
Yeah. And if this isn't a female that you wouldn't bring to our home to break bread with us, she's not your friend. And
1000.
as a woman, I can discern that woman's mindset towards my partner, towards my husband. I believe I can do that from the get-go.
Yeah.
You know, is that woman just genuine, that she just genuinely digs him, just genuinely loves him as a guy, that's a friend, that's a boy.
Yeah.
You can have that love. I do believe that.
I believe it, yeah.
But a lot of people are so adverse to it. Like, they're so like, no, can't have that kind of friendship with the opposite sex, which is a bit, for me, no.
But I think it's also because a lot of people do think, like, especially if the guy's good looking, or I've had some people where they say, how did you two not hook up? Like, you guys so whatever. And it's like, some people just say, well, we might be good looking, but I don't find him how you might see other people, kind of thing. So it just depends. Like you said, it depends on the emotional maturity of those people as well.
Yeah.
Because I can find a guy attractive and I can be his friend, but I'm like, you know what? I know deep down that you're actually not that one for me, though.
Yeah, you're not.
So I can still be your friend. So that's cool. That's not an issue.
Yeah. Facts.
It's when the guy's good looking, you're like, oh, he ticks so many boxes. But you should still be that person's friend regardless, because you should have that before you get married anyway. You need to be that person's friend. You know what I'm saying? So it's putting those boundaries in place, because before you start dating someone, you should be their friend anyway, to get to know them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It can be. I mean, this topic, I'm sure so many people are going to have things to say about it.
I want to know.
We do want to know. 100%. I want to know. And just by saying that, please, if you want to jump in onto this topic and you want to send us some questions or whatever it is,
Yeah.
please feel free to go onto our email at info4ladies. So info, the number 4, ladieslounge@gmail.com. And we will answer any questions and throw in some stuff in there.
Yeah, shoot us some scenarios.